fishy friends. Welcome back to Pals. Today we're going to read a really cute story about a seahorse, and we're going to do some very fun ocean activities. Will you join me to sing the good morning song? Let me hear your beautiful voices. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Our day is beginning, there's so much to do. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. All right, I want you to show me your best slippery fish. Show me your best octopus. I love it. How about your best shark with those sharp teeth? And your best big whale spouting water. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Our day is beginning, there's so much to do. Good morning, good morning, good morning to my seniors. All right, let's get started. This story is called Mr. Seahorse. Look how beautiful these pictures are. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that. It's time for me to lay my eggs, she said. Can I help? Said Mr. Seahorse. Oh, yes, thank you, said Mrs. Seahorse. And she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. I'll take very good care of our eggs, said Mr. Seahorse. I promise. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Ooh, I think we're going to need to move this to see what he passed by. A group of trumpet fish hidden in a patch of reeds. Isn't that neat? But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse. I'm just delighted, replied Mr. Stickleback. I just built a nest, and right away, Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I am taking very good care of them until they hatch. Oh, keep up the good work, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. Look at all the eggs. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Okay, let's take a look underneath and see what's there. A lionfish hidden behind a coral reef. Isn't that fun? But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs. Now you are taking good care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. You must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Okay, let's see what's underneath. Several leaf fish hidden among the seaweed. You couldn't even see them hiding. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Curtis? Asked Mr. Seahorse.
I'm perfectly fine,
replied Mr. Curtis.
Mrs. Curtis laid her eggs, and I have stuck them on my head. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch.
Well, you're doing a very good job, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. This is so exciting. A stonefish hidden behind a rock. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Pipe? Asked Mr. Seahorse.
Oh, it couldn't be better,
replied Mr. Pipe.
Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly. Now I'm taking really good care of them until they hatch.
Oh, you should feel very proud, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. But before long, Mr. Seahorse saw another fish. How are you, Mr. Bullhead? Asked Mr. Seahorse.
Tip-top,
replied Mr. Bullhead.
Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs and the eggs hatched. Now I'm babysitting.
Oh, well, you're doing a fine job, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. The time had come for the seahorse babies to be born. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted this way and that. At last, the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch, and they swam away. One baby turned around and tried to come back into the pouch. Oh, no, you don't, said Mr. Seahorse. I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own. Aren't they cute? The end. So there were a lot of really neat fish in this story, a lot of really neat fish that Mr. Seahorse met, right? Well, I'd like to show you a couple of other things that you might find in the ocean. Have you ever heard of octopus, squid? So there are some other really beautiful creatures in the ocean. This is a picture right here of a giant squid. This is a picture of a cuttlefish. Here we have an octopus, and down here a two-spotted octopus. And then up here we have a nautilus. Now you're going to do a project for homework that is going to require that you know some different kinds of fish. You're going to make your very own ocean. Miss Andrea drew an ocean to show you. My ocean has fish, an octopus, and it even has a seahorse. It has a squid and some seaweed. What I did is I drew with crayons. I drew all of these different little sea creatures on my piece of paper, and I pressed hard with my crayons because I wanted them to be dark and vibrant, dark and bright and colorful. Okay, now if you want to make a fish, I'm going to give you a clue. To make a fish, you just have to draw an oval and a triangle. Can you draw an oval and a triangle? To draw an octopus, you just need to draw an oval and 8 curly legs. Can you do that? And then to draw a squid, you just do a half circle with a bunch of squiddly little legs coming out. Squid have a lot of legs. And then for the kelp, you just can take your green crayon. Kelp is like, oh, it's like the trees that live under the ocean. So you could make some green kelp. The fish love to eat kelp. Okay, and so you can draw all of that around there. They nibble on all the yummy things that sit on the kelp too. And then for a seahorse, it kind of looks like an S. If you want to try to make a seahorse, you can do that today as well. And then when you're done drawing your ocean, you're going to take out the watercolors that we gave you and just use the colors that remind you of the ocean. Okay, maybe you're going to color blue, and you color right on top of all of your crayon. Maybe some green, blue and green. Maybe you even see a little bit of purple in the ocean. And I want you to cover the whole thing with your watercolors. You're gonna, like I said, you're gonna paint right on top of your crayon fish. And it's gonna look so cool. It's gonna look like the ocean, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. You're gonna have a beautiful under the sea picture. Another activity that you're gonna do for homework is make an octopus. We all know that octopus have 8 legs. So you're gonna get this silly little guy and glue him on your piece of paper. And then you're going to get 8 legs. And I'd like you to match the legs to each of the numbers. Okay, so leg number 1 goes here. Leg number 2 goes here. Leg number 3 goes here until you have all 8 legs on Mr. Octopus. You get to use your glue for this. Will you count the numbers when you're done and make sure that you can count from 1 to 8? And then see if you can count backwards from 8 back to 1. That would be amazing. All right, and another thing I'd like to review with you today, my seniors, is I'd like to show you the letter F again to make sure that you know the letter F and the sound that it makes since we're doing Fish Week. Okay, so the letter F is for fish. And there's a cute little fish in here. Her name is Francie. You probably remember Francie Fish when I taught it to you before. So you're gonna take little Francie Fish and make her with your hands. I'm gonna put one hand out like this, remember? The other hand on top. Pop out your thumbs. Those are your little fins. You're gonna swim Francie Fish through the ocean and make the sound of the letter F, which also sounds like the splashing of water. What you're doing is you're blowing air through your front teeth. Very good. All right, that reminds me of a song. Remember when we did the Slippery Fish song together? Let's do it again right here in our classroom. It's so much fun. I'll have you stand up while we're doing it, and I'll stay seated and show you all of the different motions that go with the song. All right, so this is called Octopus. Here we go. We love this song. We're gonna need our fish first. Get your fish ready. Slippery fish, sliding by a, show me your octopus, 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 squiggling in the water, octopus, octopus. Oh, no, hide everybody. Oh no, it's been eaten by a tuna fish, splashing through the water, tuna fish, tuna fish. Oh, hide everybody. Oh no, it's been eaten by a great white shark, lurking in the water, great white shark, hide. Oh no, it's been eaten by a humongous whale, spouting in the water, humongous whale. Oh, I think the whale ate too much. Did you burp? Pals, say excuse me. That was silly. It's fun to do our slippery fish, and it goes with our letter F. Okay, let's go ahead and put our number on the calendar today. Let's see if you know what this number is. This is the number 12. Can you say 12? Let me go ahead and put that on our calendar. Come on over with me. I'm going to put it right here. Today is Friday the 12th. It is March, and pretty soon it's going to be springtime. It's almost springtime. So excited. And you can look out the window if you'd like to report the weather. I'm going to take a look out the window really quick. And when you come back, tell me what you think the weather is. I'm listening. Okay, I hear some weather coming in. You guys are great weather reporters. Thank you so much for your help with that. You always get it right. Let's see, what else do we have for homework? Oh, I think we're gonna watch an octopus video. That'll be really, really cool. So fun to watch things move in the ocean, right? So many interesting creatures under the sea. Okay, well, I think that's it. Just have fun with your activities. Do lots of counting, lots of dancing, and I will see you next week. Okay, seniors, until we meet again. 1, 2, 3, pals, hooray! Bye.